Splash.
Hello, this is Mike Fox with Splash Designworks Ideas That Work. We are a multi-award-winning ad, design, branding, marketing, and social media management and marketing company. We're located here in Delaware, little old Delaware, but we service anywhere and everywhere. You can look us up online, connect with us online at www.splashdw.com. That's splashdw.com. Our email is info@splashdw.com. Our phone number is 302-399-7851. And of course, we're all over the place on social media. Just look us up. We are there. So big shout out and thank you to Brother Steve Harris with Brother Steve Productions for allowing us the opportunity to share with you and educate you on social media management. Today is just a sliver, just a fraction of what can be talked about for social media management. But again, a big thank you to Brother Steve. We've designed for Brother Steve for 8-9 plus years. Everything from DVD covers to web-related design and graphic work and to everything in between. So thank you, Brother Steve. So without further ado, let's get right into today's lesson. And here we go. Okay, so let's talk about it. We'll get into all kinds of different things for this intro course for you. So understand that social media is so very important, but it is not the end-all game. It is one of many items in a list of many facets and many parts to an online strategy or marketing. In fact, it's no longer merely just an addition or just a little extra blessing. So it's not like you have your marketing and you promote and then, yeah, let's just talk about it on social media. Social media is no longer that way. In fact, social media needs to be, and this is a key, this needs to be a part of your normal marketing methods. So what used to be, a church or a business would get an ad in the newspaper, and that can run anywhere from a few hundred to a few thousand depending on the size. I actually used to design for a newspaper. So depending on the size, if it's full color, if it's spot color, if it's black and white, and this is per week. So, you're talking a few hundred to thousands of dollars per week for just an ad in the newspaper. Newspapers, they're not dead, but they're coughing very bad. So, that used to be what you used to do. Put an ad in the yellow pages. Remember that? Before you use a yellow page for your furniture, to keep up the furniture. So back in the day, those were the methods. You put a radio ad and you do some mail outs and you print some flyers. You go to Staples or Office Depot or wherever you go, Kinko's, and you get some flyers and hand them out. That was the good old days. Nowadays, where is everyone at? Whether they're customers or they're members or potential customers or potential members for your church or people you want to come to a concert, where are they at? Take a wild guess. They're online. That's right, online. The whole thing, when we do workshops, we explain this to small business owners, to professionals, to leaders. You have to go to where the people are at if you're going to reach them. So in this case, you have to go to where the potential people are at. Let me explain it this way for pastors, leaders, bishops, ministers. Those people that are out there, there are so many people that are hurting, that they are online 80-90% of their time. They are fishing for answers somehow, somewhere, with somebody. And if you're there, the chances are extremely high that they're going to pass by you and what you have to offer. So whether it be an event, whether it be a friends and family day for a church, or whether it be a concert, or whether it be just your services, your normal services, people are looking online. So that's key number one. You have to go to where the people are at. First of all, Facebook has 2 billion, that's with the B, billion active monthly users. So, now that you understand the significance of how many people are on Facebook, which is the largest platform on social media, here's a couple quick key points for you. Point number one, post all of your upcoming events on Facebook as a Facebook event. Post all your upcoming church or ministry or concert or professional events, post it on Facebook as an event that you can share and post everywhere and have everybody else share. Events, and we don't have time to get into it, but the new algorithm that Facebook implemented. But one of the ways that you can kind of bypass the new algorithm that Facebook implemented that kind of makes it hard for small businesses, for even churches, is by using events. Events is pumped up in the algorithm, and so it actually takes precedence over many other types of like posts, even over posts of video and images, even images with kittens, cute kittens on it. Number two, on your Facebook profile, first of all, your number two, your Facebook profile must look good. As they like to say all over the place, use it in the spirit of excellence, or do what you do in the spirit of excellence. On that note, make sure your Facebook profile looks the way it's supposed to. Hire a professional to make sure that all the images on your profile, your cover image, your logo image on the profile, that it's to spec and it looks good. And number three, try not to use on your cover profile, try not to use images of people within your body or your congregation or church that you are not for sure 100% that you're going to be connected with for 100 years from now. In other words, many times when we do website design, we have the pastor or the leader put in part of the slide or images, some people in the congregation, only to find out 2 weeks later that they did something that did not represent that body or that entity or that organization or business or church. They did not represent it very well. Next one, make sure that you have completely filled out the About section in your profile. So again, your profile needs to look good, but it needs to be completely filled out in the About section. Many people just have a quick little blurb. Yeah, we're really cool, we're awesome, we are off the chain, and that's about it. No, completely fill it out with details, specs of who you are, what your vision is, what your history is. Social media will not replace your website, but people are going there first, and if they go there to your website, it's because they found something that they like. So also make sure your hours, your service times are there. So your profile and your About. Next one, make sure that you get permission to use the pictures or images of kids in your organization, your church, your concert, whatever. Make sure you get a release form and permission to use pictures of kids and children, and then use them, because pictures of kids, of cute animals, of different things, they are always shared and liked and talked about more than others. So you're going to see a lot of engagement when you see pictures of kids. So make sure you get the release, you get permission, and then use lots of pictures of kids, especially for your church. Next one is use Facebook Messenger. Now Facebook Messenger, again, we can't get into all the algorithm changes that Facebook has done. Who knows when they're going to do a new algorithm change. But use Messenger as a way to talk directly to people that are online. It is your new customer service hotline. So whether it be customer service, if it's a business, Or if it's a church situation, whether it be a staff, a leader, a bishop, somebody that you dedicated or delegated that to, let that be used as the new method to directly communicate. That plus Twitter. Use those two methods, but in this case we're talking about Facebook. So use it as a direct way to communicate back and forth, and make sure that they don't wait a long time before you reply back to them. Stay on top of it, because they are judging your customer service and your ministry and how much you care by how quickly you respond and how detailed you respond. Not just, hey, thanks for contacting us, just come by one of our services and then we'll talk. People don't work like that anymore. So instead of picking up the phone, now they're just going to jump online and go to the messenger and check it out and say, I got a question. And I do the same thing with local churches. They stay on top of it, and it's amazing how much rapport and relationship that you build simply by communicating. Communication truly is key, but the new method of communicating with people that are hurting or that may want to check out who you are is through Facebook Messenger and being online. So all these things together is what it takes to have a successful campaign. Again, I'm Mike Fox, along with Trisha Fox and Ariana Fox with Splash Designworks, Ideas That Work.
Hi, I'm Trisha Fox, Splash Designworks. Have you wondered how you should best use social media for your business? Well, we're going to talk about that today. So basically, one of the major things from marketing is the marketing funnel. I don't know if you've heard this or not, but there's a marketing funnel where it's called ADA or ADAR in some places they mention it. That A is for awareness, and the I is for interest, D is for desire, and A is for action, and R is for retention. So let me tell you what this means. Basically, it is a marketing funnel on how people become aware of your business all the way through to the actual sales process. And I'll give you an example of this. Say there's a woman who's just walking in the mall, and she is just walking by, just browsing through the mall, and then she ended up seeing a sign in the window for a dress, and she saw a dress that she liked. So she becomes aware of the dress, she likes this dress, and then she becomes interested in the dress. Well, then she also sees in the window that there is a 25% off sign next to the window, in the window. And by the way, of course, all of those window dressings, they're actually set up by people who are professional window dressers, and they set up things specifically to get people's attention and say, hey, look at this, come in here, and you want to buy our stuff. So anyway, she becomes interested in the dress. She goes into the store and she tries one on, and she finds one in her size. And she's becoming more and more interested and moving into the desire phase. So she goes and tries it on, it fits perfectly, and so now she's going to move into action. And she's going to take the dress to the cash register and she's going to pay for it. That's her action. So that is just a simple example of how the process works, going from awareness all the way into the action. And action, by the way, it doesn't have to necessarily be just on purchase, but it could be even getting someone to read your blog article or sign up for an email or your newsletter. So those things can also be a form of the action. So what I want to talk to you about is the different platforms, the different social media platforms, and which ones are best for each stage of this buyer's process. And in the buyer's process, there's awareness, and there's trust, and there's action. So in the awareness stage, there's 4 platforms that fit the awareness stage. The awareness platforms are Instagram, Twitter, Tumblr, and Snapchat. So for Instagram is good for any company or business, or even if you have a church that has products or things that can be photographed well. So even if you took pictures of your church or your ministry or people inside your ministry, things like that, that works really well on Instagram. And Instagram is really good for brand awareness and for growing your fan base. It's not really good for web traffic or sales because people aren't going there to be sold to. They just want to be delighted, entertained, inspired. So that's what all of the awareness platforms are really for that purpose. And then for Snapchat is best for the biggest brands and the smallest brands. It's great for brand loyalty, but not really for anything else. So an example, the biggest brands is good for things like box openings, modeling shoots, behind the scenes, those kinds of things. And then for the smallest brands, is good for the one-man show type brand. Like if you're doing a personal brand, you're a pastor, a speaker, maybe a beautician, a private trainer, those kinds of things, personal trainer. Those are really good also on Snapchat. It's good for people who have what's considered to be like a fun type job, for entertaining and showcasing the most fun parts of your job, basically. And then for Tumblr is really for a younger audience. It's for people who are reaching out to people specifically maybe in the teens and 20s. So just as far as age goes, teens and 20s is really, a lot of them are on Tumblr. Twitter has people that are younger, but they still go older than Tumblr, but over the age of 50, a lot of people aren't on Twitter, so you don't want to do Twitter if you're targeting people who are over the age of 50. And then Facebook, Facebook is good for all businesses and all ages are on, but it's kind of becoming seen as an older crowd on Facebook. And so the people, if you are a business that is specifically targeting people 50 or over, those people would be on Facebook. So that's just for the age kind of groupings, how people are, what ages of groups are more likely to be on which platforms. So anyway, Tumblr, the best way to use it, there's two ways to use Tumblr. One way to use Tumblr is the easy way. This is where you just use it to get a little bonus exposure, a little different crowd than you would normally post to. And basically what you do is you just repost things that you posted on maybe Facebook or Twitter or blog articles in other places, things like that, and you just repost it as just a way of getting that little extra exposure. The other way is, if you know that Tumblr is going to be your biggest platform, is if you totally just dedicate yourself to it, figure out how it works, how people are posting, what they're doing on there, and what's working for different businesses, different places, different organizations, because Tumblr is its own kind of, it has its own personality, it has its own quirks, it has its own humor, so Tumblr is different than any of the other platforms. So those are kind of the two ways to use Tumblr. And the next awareness platform is Twitter. And Twitter is one of the biggest, one of the most major platforms, and is good for almost every business. The only time your business really wouldn't work for Twitter is if you're specifically targeting people who are 50 or older, because only about 9.5% of the people that are over the age of 50 use Twitter. So if your target audience is people over the age of 50, you probably don't want to use Twitter, but other than that, Twitter is good for almost every business. And Twitter is another awareness platform, so you want to delight, you want to entertain, inspire, make people think of your business and smile. So Twitter also works good for businesses and leaders. Even if you're a pastor or you have a church, it's good for churches and just growing your awareness of your church, your ministry. Anything that you're doing that will work well on Twitter as also. And then the next set of platforms that I'm going to talk about are the trust platforms. Now these platforms are the platforms where people are going to they're going to be shortlisting their favorites, and they may start to realize that they have a problem or an issue they need to resolve now, so they're wanting to know more about your brand and why they should choose your brand over another brand. These platforms are still not the place where you want to do direct sales. Most of the time they usually have a rule that's called the 80-20% rule, where 80% of the time, if you just are inspiring, entertaining, giving information, things like that, then 20% of the time you can promote your business or your church or your organization organization or whatever you're trying to promote. So the Facebook is the first platform for this stage, the trust stage. And Facebook is the biggest platform. It's probably the biggest platform that's out there. And pretty much every business, every organization, everyone needs to have a Facebook page. And even though it is true that almost every business or organization needs a Facebook page, it will most likely be one of the weakest platforms for most of these places. And that is because of the Facebook algorithm that can work against them. And what that's about is that basically whenever you post something as a business or a church, if you have a business page on your Facebook, that your information, it doesn't your posts, they don't just like go out to all of your congregants, all of your people. They only go out to a certain amount. And then what happens is they gauge the engagement that you're getting, and they decide if you're how many likes and responses and comments and all of those things that you're getting. If it doesn't get that many responses, then it just basically dies out. And if it does, then they send it to a little bit more of your followers. And so they keep doing that more and more as the engagement keeps going. But as soon as the engagement keeps going, stops, then that's when basically your post dies. So that's how the Facebook algorithm works. Then the next two trust platforms are Google Plus and YouTube. And I'm mentioning those together because Google Plus owns YouTube, and YouTube and Google Plus, they work really well together. And YouTube is a perfect platform for it's more for web traffic and those things, because you can lead people back to your website. It's good for almost every business, every organization, because you can do all kinds of things with videos, from FAQs to meet the CEO or whatever, doing all kinds of things, or meet the pastor or whatever. Those kinds of things you can do with YouTube, and there's really a lot to it. And YouTube is the second largest search engine that is out there. And so when you want to make sure you have a really good YouTube page, and so that people can find you and your information, and also your YouTube post will rank higher on Google search results because of Google owning YouTube. It will actually have more SEO benefit, and just have more benefit of like showing higher results in the Google searches as well. And Google Plus is really good. It's another platform. It's funny because both of these platforms, YouTube and Google Plus, they're social platforms, but they're not really that social because people are not like talking to each other. It's not the same as on Twitter or on Facebook or something where people are, just talking to each other. In YouTube, it's mostly, it's just videos. They're posting videos. And then in Google Plus, there's only really about 9% of businesses and people that are on Google Plus and have a Google Plus My Business page that are actively posting. And 6% of those posts are actually from YouTube posts. So it's not really a huge amount of actual social things, but they can both really help benefit your organization, your ministry, your business, whatever, your church, whatever you have. And especially Google Plus is essential for any business or church or place like that that has a physical location, because Google literally puts you on the map. They send you things to confirm your address and things like that, and when people look for you, they'll be able to find you and find your physical address, which will actually help more people to be able to come to your business, which is a really, really important thing. In fact, we saw some people that were doing a random search on Google Plus, and all of the places, all of the businesses or things for certain categories that ranked the highest on Google, they all had a Google Plus page and had all made posts on their Google Plus business page. So that's really, really important. And then the last two platforms that I'm going to talk about, they're the action platforms. And the first one is Pinterest. Pinterest is really good, again, for companies that have things that can be photographed well and things like that. And Pinterest is where people can actually start. You can start as a business to actually put things like products and sales information and even a price and things like that, because this is in the action stage now, so people are more ready to purchase or look more into your whatever you're trying to promote. So you can go into a lot more. Whereas on the trust platforms, you can start to sell your brand, but now you can actually start to sell your product. So that's Pinterest, and there may be something like, let's say you're a chef, and so or you wanted to people are looking for a recipe, so they go to a recipe, but to find the whole recipe or to get all the ingredients or things like that, they have to open up a blog post and they have to sign up to read something like a blog post. So even if it's not an actual sale, the action that they may be taking might be to just go to that site to find whatever they're looking for, the whole recipe, and then while they're there, they may even have, that place may even have affiliate programs, like they have knives or certain blenders or something that are like for sale that are linked to that blog page. So people are used to going on Pinterest to be sold to, basically. And the last action platform that I'm going to talk about is LinkedIn, and it's another platform where people they're going there for a certain reason. Pinterest and LinkedIn are more like less than the other platforms. They're not like where people just go there to be social, to hang out, or they're bored, they just want to hang out there on Pinterest or on LinkedIn most of the time. So when they go there, they're looking for something more specific, and LinkedIn is really, really good for businesses, and especially if you're in the education or if you have blogs, even if you're a pastor and you have a blog that you wanted to do, and especially things that are a little on the more serious side or educational things that may be applying. Those things are really, really good on LinkedIn. And LinkedIn, a lot of people go on LinkedIn to read blog articles and find out more. But LinkedIn is all mostly people that are like looking for things related to their career, whether they may be looking for a new job or they may be looking for new employees, new people to work for them, and that kind of thing. So that's a brief little description of all of the platforms, the major ones, and what each one is best for. And so I hope that was helpful. And I'm Trisha Fox, and this is Splash Designworks, and our email address is info@splashdw.com. Again, that's info@splashdw.com, or you can go to our website, which is www.splashdw.com.
Hello there, I'm Ariana Fox with Splash Designworks with www.splashdw.com. So obviously today we are going to be talking about social media, but I will be talking about Twitter. Now, I don't have too much, but I do want to tell you some basic information, what to tweet, what not to tweet, hashtags, bookmarks, etc. So let me start off with a fun fact. Twitter, as of 2018, has 330 million monthly active users. That means 330 million people are using Twitter. And on top of that, just for fun, 500 million tweets are sent per day. So hopefully that kind of gives a little summary of how important Twitter is, whether you be a business, a church, organization, leader, pastor, no matter what. If you are an entity, and if you have it's not just you, or even if it is just you, if you are a brand, you need Twitter. Now, Twitter it's basically good for just about anything. Basically it's good for, the only thing that Twitter is not good for would have to be people that are 50, if your target market or your audience or buyer persona is 50 years and older, because they're all on Facebook now. Now it's old. Now Twitter is for the kids and the teens, and now Facebook is for the adults. and the older people. So if you are targeting older people, then Facebook would be a bit better. But as far as anything else other than that, Twitter is trending. And speaking of trending, I'll talk about that too. But Twitter is trending. So basically, first off, I'm going to start with what not to tweet. And that's a big one because we know, well, I'll get into what to tweet too, but one of the biggest things is how not to tweet and how not to say bad or negative things that can actually reflect negatively on your business, church, or you yourself. So especially for businesses, the things that's just basically negative things or angry tweets, anything like that, just any kind of just bad or negative things that could reflect negatively on your business, those are kind of just top things for even a business, church, whatever. And a big thing, so that's about like what not to tweet, but one of the big things is what to tweet. And basically there's something called the 8R. Or ADA or 8R funnel, marketing funnel. And there's awareness, interest, desire, action, and retention. But Twitter is one of the awareness. So Twitter is actually not a place to sell. So that's another thing on what not to tweet, is don't sell a product, or even if you're a church, just don't sell sell, not just by selling a product, but make sure that you're not just saying, come to our church, come, or even if you're a business, then, buy our product. Twitter is one of those social media platforms, and I know that it's crazy, but it is how it works, that in Twitter especially, Twitter is one of the places where you want to entertain, you want to inspire, and you want to make people laugh or smile in any way that you can. Whether laugh funny or smile in a good, positive way. So especially if you're a church or if you're a business, you need to make sure that your customers or that your potential customers are thinking very positively of you. And especially with the potential part, you need to make sure that you are that you're saying the right tweets. So as far as that, make sure that you are, like, for example, especially being a church, motivational quotes. That seems to be one of the biggest trending things on Twitter, on just about any social media platform. Well, not every, but a lot, is motivational and inspirational quotes, especially if you're a church. If you're a business, it's very good depending on the business, but if you're a church, motivational quotes are great. And they're great just to inspire your people, and also to have people kind of get interested in you, in your brand, and who are you. So that's a big thing to tweet. Motivational quotes, TGIF, just all kinds of, even seasonal, but try as much as you can to make content evergreen, or, non-seasonal, use it all year round, or anything. But a big, so just make sure that you're inspiring, entertaining, and what's the word? You're bringing in desire and interest. And that's just how you will get any kind of customers in social media. So that's what to tweet. Now, there's a lot of things that you should tweet or shouldn't tweet, but that's a biggie. So now that we know about what to tweet, what not to tweet, what are hashtags? You might know exactly what hashtags are, what they're supposed to be. Some people are like, what in the world are they for? I will tell you. Hashtags are actually for, they are to categorize. That's what Twitter made them for, to categorize posts, and I'll give an example. So say that it's one specific year where it's March and there's still snow. That's crazy. Then one day it's beautifully sunshine and it's amazing, perfect weather. You would say, post a picture. Oh my goodness, epic epic weather outside. Finally, spring is here. Hashtag spring is here. Hashtag spring fling. Hashtag go away snow go away. Hashtag this. That's what a lot of people are using and doing. But what is that for? So hashtagging is to categorize. So for example, one of the biggest ones, they use a lot of phrases sometimes in hashtags, but the best hashtags to use that are beneficial for your business or church or organization is actually to use them in like 1 or 2 words. So for example, hashtag spring, hashtag business, hashtag small business. Those are like little categories, little subtopics where people can go on this Twitter search hashtag small business, look at all these posts that pertain to small business. So hashtags can be extremely helpful. For example, if you're a church and there's a new spring event, Easter event. So new Easter event at Example Church. Hashtag church, hashtag Christian, hashtag spring fling, hashtag fun in the sun, hashtag blah blah blah. But then you also put hashtag church, hashtag this. Then the people that are looking for your product, for your church, your business, whatever, people who are looking for that will actually find it in a very channeled and filtered area. So hashtags are very useful, except when they're not. Hashtags can be very counterproductive if you use too many. They have to be just the right amount. But again, it's really all depending on the post and your brand identity. For example, I know a few people that are, motivational people, and they use hashtag joy, hashtag spring, hashtag this, hashtag that. And I'm like, whoa, that's a lot of hashtags. But they get a lot of likes, they get a lot of retweets, and they get a lot of interactivity and engagement.
So, look us up online. Get a hold of us. www.splashdw.com, 302-399-7851, splashdesignworks.com. Ideas that work.